All right, so what you're looking at is the inventory of a place that is going out of business. And this is a B-body Roadmaster. This thing caught my eye. I know that's a surprise, right? 87,000 title runs. It's got keys in it. Surely these gentlemen won't mind. So it needs a battery. Whew. I'd be tempted to put in an offer on this. All right, so this is our first drive in the Buick Roadmaster. This is a 1994 with the LT1 engine. There is no mistaking this for like a Ford 4.6 modular out of a town car or something. This car has 87,000 on it. It was previously owned by a little old lady out in Douglasville, Eva B. And she was born in 1924. So this is a little old lady car. Engine's good, trans is good, brakes are good, steering wheel is cocked to the side. We'll have to figure out what that's about. Hopefully it's nothing, this thing wasn't bent out of shape too bad and doesn't have a bent frame or anything. It drives pretty good. I bet the front shocks could use to be replaced. I don't have a check engine light. The radio is really, really good. The AC does not work. The climate control works, it's just the AC clearly does not, needs to be charged, I think. We're coming past the gold dome of the Capitol building. We're probably halfway from Douglasville to Lithonia, which is what we're doing today. And I also don't have a rear view mirror. There's a handful of odds and ends. This door panel is somewhat corrupted. We'll see if we can't get that cleaned up a little bit. But that's our Buick Roadmaster first report. I paid, I guess, $27.50 for this. All right, first crank in a couple weeks. Let's see what it does. We got low coolant level, low washer fluid. Boy, wow, it sure does run good. I think this is a decent unit. So from what I remember, it's got alignment issues, which we'll uncover and discuss later. AC needs to be charged. Why is the coolant level low? I mean, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I remember about it. So we're gonna see if we can't get her home today. Also, I think this, when I found it, it didn't have the rear view mirror installed, and I had to like find that in the trunk or something. I don't know. All right, so we got her home. So I'm trying to figure some things out with it. Number one, it had that low coolant level light on the dash that I had never seen before. And the coolant reservoir, which is where I think the level sensor is for it, is full. And I topped it off a little bit, but maybe we just have a bad sensor there. That would be awesome. The car does not seem to leak anything so far. All our fluid levels look good. It's an R134A car from the factory, which is really awesome. The interior on this car, as you would expect for a low mileage, one owner grandma car. It's really nice. We have an owner's manual here. Back seat. Headliner is good enough. Deck lid looks pretty nice. We'll have to see if we find any treasures when we clean all this out. There's a little bit of stuff back here. One of these things probably goes up there. Factory floor mats. Oh, do we have any maps? Looks like something's in here. What do we have? His Love Bible Study. Riley. So she was taking her grandkids to Bible study. And her grandkids were like, here, Grandma, you can have this one. Now in the trunk, oh, kind of looks like, is that damp? It's not. It's not wet at all, but it looks like it has been. What is that? Some kind of electrical piece for home wiring. Microfiber cloth. Oh, that I think is part of the driver's door. Oh, we have all the pieces we're gonna need to put that driver's door panel back together. Brand new belt. You bet that's gonna go on it. And here's the thing that I remember about this car. It's kind of scary. This is like a steering linkage to this thing. Like all the tie rod ends and whatever are thrown into this bag in the back, and then Up front, under the car, you have the tie rod ends have been replaced, and they're like way out of alignment. Like nobody even bothered to align them. So like it seems to me like somebody just destroyed the front end on this car and then slapped some new tie rods on indiscriminately just to get it rolling and never aligned it, which is all great and fine. I'm just hoping there's not like anything wrong with the frame as a result of or any control arms bent. I think the front floor mats are not present, unfortunately. So we've got, this is the old gal, date of birth 1924, and she had a piece of white paper. Oh, here's a script. So all these cars were in the movies. Most of them had scripts in them. Danielle Brooks. I traced down these documents, this script, and this piece of paper that says the Scriptures picture car. So here's what I found out. There is a recent HBO Max show. I guess it's pretty popular, and it's called Peacemaker, okay? This script is from an episode of that HBO Max show, which I believe came out this past summer, like summer 2025. This script, it says Danielle Brooks. She is a Grammy Award-winning actress. She and John Cena rode in this Buick Roadmaster together in the HBO Max show. On Google Images, you can see plenty of still shots of John Cena and this Danielle Brooks lady in this car. John Cena sitting on the hood of it in the woods somewhere. There's promotional materials, like ads basically for the show, where John Cena is like dressed in his Peacemaker costume or whatever it is, sitting in the passenger seat of this exact car. And also, yes, it says the Scriptures working car. That's what this piece of paper says. What I found out is the Scriptures was the original working name of the show before they named it Peacemaker. I mean, this Buick Roadmaster, I bought it from a film company that was going out of business that basically stocked cars for movie sets. That's how I got it. They got it from a little old lady in Douglasville. Yeah, so you might say, well, that could all be a damn coincidence. Well, okay, so in the pictures from the show, if you Google image it, you can actually see the foil over the center caps. That was when I was like, okay, yeah, that's this car. I know this car. That's this car. Champions Pontiac Buick GMC in Fairburn or in Douglasville is where the original owner, Newman was her last name, where she bought this thing in April 1994. These are the papers for her trade-in. Her trade-in was a 1987 Ford Bronco. Total price of this car was $27,589. They gave her $8,300 for the Bronco. Tags from when it was new. These are key tags, I think. Brand new, stock number, 94 Buick Roadmaster, light driftwood. Some more papers here. They sold her an extended warranty on it, naturally. The owner's manual. We have the bulk of the owner's manual here. So that's neat. We have a couple different receipts for tires, I think. This is, I think, a set of Pep Boys tires in 07. And then I think that there's also a receipt in here for another set of tires from like 03. I'm like, this car doesn't even have any miles on it. Like, how frequently how badly did this thing chew up tires? But anyways, that's our document review. Some interesting stuff. I'm gonna collate it and just arrange it to where it looks a little bit nicer. Well, I think the first order of business is gonna be to wash this thing. It looks really gross. Probably more than you can even imagine. Even just like the tires. Oh. It's got all kinds of dirt splatters. I mean, this thing sat in like a place before I got it. And then I bought it and I promptly stuck it under a pine tree for like a month or two, which was a dumb decision on my part. But the grime level is just, man. I think the paint under there is good. this thing has more moderate to mild body damage in the front than I ever realized. I mean, you know, you may look at it and think it's obvious now. Well, I mean, remember, I bought this thing in like a field of cars. I really didn't have anything, but I really never even saw the sides of it before I bought it, to be honest. I kind of just had, like, you know, dead on view. It's like, yep, that looks like a whole Buick. I'll take it. Had been washed in ages. I mean, you know, when you're buying a bunch of stuff in bulk at a wholesale price, it's like you don't always get to nitpick like that. But with it, now that I have it in my own driveway, it's you know, very obvious something happened in the front end, and that combined with the whole brand new steering linkage and the old steering linkage in the trunk and the fact that it's not aligned. Look, these were movie cars. I think a lot of them were used for stunts. Now here is what I'm really struggling with, is that this stuff is present at all 4 tires. And as you may or may not recall, obviously I literally just got done washing this car. So why is all of this splatter still here? Well, I don't know what it is. You know, I'm like trying to wash this thing and I'm thinking to myself, like, did they drive through a puddle of paint or something? That's actually my best explanation as of yet. I don't not love the car though. I'll say that. This is a lot of machine. This is a lot of machine. I kind of think these GM B bodies held their value better than the Panther bodies ever did. I'll be the first to admit, design-wise, with the Bubble Generation B body, I think GM was, I really don't know what their thought process was, to be honest. All right, well, the trunk cleaned up nice, like Ron Burgundy. So as far as the external appearance, it's on the way up. The nail polish remover was able to remove that paint or whatever the hell it was. And I'm working through my hubcaps because they had that foil over them. Because again, movie cars, they had this, they couldn't have emblems. So that looks better. All right, now moving to the interior, I'm gonna get some before shots as always. And you know the 3-step process: vacuum, armor all, Windex, and then spot clean as necessary, including probably, for one thing right there, gonna get some foaming carpet spray on it, because I can tell that area would respond well to it. Got some dust up here, you know, just the typical, the usual. It needs to be vacuumed. These seats, they're so beautiful and in such good condition. All right, interior phase 1 vacuuming is complete. And really all I can say from this phase is that this car will merit the substantial use of foaming carpet cleaners. Yeah, so I'm about to pull this thing into the garage for the evening. My low coolant level light is still on. Now, I topped off the coolant reservoir. Hopefully it's just a sensor. That's what they say on Craigslist, right? So I'm here in the garage under my beautiful Buick Roadmaster this morning. And I noticed something. See if I can get you guys in here. I was just checking for leaks. You know, it's been in the garage for a few days. I figured I would check because we got that low coolant light, but that's just the sensors going bad in the reservoir. That reservoir has been full the whole time. It's just the sensor. Do you see what I see? You can zoom in on it right there. And you see the engine pan, right? Which that's normal. Cars have engine pans, you know. And well, what do you see that's less normal? There's the tranny. Yeah. There's like a 1/4-inch steel plate just bolted to the whole underside of this drivetrain block unit. Yeah. Did Roadmasters come factory with off-road skid plates? Did they? Because I don't think they did. But these were built for flying over curbs and, you know, hopping the Grand Canyon, whatever the hell you want to do with it, really. And so when you get, you can bang up the front end on these and they can really be massaged back into place. So basically what I'm going to do, I think, this morning is just start like loosening some of the bolts that hold the whole front end together. And once I got the fenders and all that in motion, I'm going to try and rearrange them to where they look straighter and factorier and more appealing to the buyers. Man, I was stepping out of the shed just now. Whew. This thing's getting there already. And I'm like halfway through detailing the outside, not even halfway through detailing the inside. Look at that pleated leather just peeking through the windows there. Yeah, I want to look at this car. Just look at the shine level. Look at the mirror finish. Man. Yeah. Yeah, check this out. We are not done. We are not done with the exterior of this car. But we've made some progress. Yeah, I mean, so this is better. It's better. It's better. It's better. It's better. It's better. Isn't that like who was that? Meatloaf? It's better. It's better. You bet. It's better. I just found a new theme song. I bet you maybe I could get some tan floor mats for this thing, factory floor mats, on eBay, but I don't know if I'd be retiring on my private island after that. Probably want a few bucks for them. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this car because I'm in a dilemma, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, you know, I could sell this and retire on a private island with the money, but then once you're on the private island, don't you want to have the Roadmaster with you? I mean, so I'm like, I thought about cloning it, but I don't think anything bigger than a damn Tercel fits in the cloning machine. Y'all know of a bigger, if you guys know of a bigger one, tell me. If one that fits Roadmasters, that's probably why there's not many of them left. We turn this thing around. I just thought I would say that driver's seat there, that's post leather conditioner. This passenger seat is pre-leather conditioner. And you get quite a bit out of the leather conditioner. You really do. You really do. Dashboards need moisture to survive in the form of Armor All. Paint needs it in the form of wax. Check that out, by the way. Look at my house. And leather needs it in the form of this leather conditioner stuff. It's really all about the moisturization factor. Anyways, we're working through the processes. It's a lot to detail the interior of this thing because it's just such a damn big car. But I'll notify you when I'm done. All right. Well, after exhausting every can and chemical and substance in my shed, I believe that we can say that the first rough cut detailing, as I like to call it, on the Buick Roadmaster is complete. We have detailed the interior and the exterior, and as I always say, the first detail is not about perfection. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it's not necessarily about perfection. In fact, it's largely about uncovering imperfections. Now, this interior is a real beaut. There's a couple of minor blemishes. Steering wheel's kind of sucks. We always knew that. These two black spots, this stuff, it's very tarry. Normal cleaning methods won't remove it. I can probably get it out somehow or another, and I'm sure I will by the time I sell it. The wire dangling status down here, we got this stuff, which I believe somewhere all that is factory. I just don't think that necessarily the placement's factory. And then same with that, I believe them are factory plugs, but I don't think the factory had them down by the pedals. So we want to get all this stuff up and out of our way. And then this we got to address. This is one of the first things I ever noticed about this car. This driver's door panel is not affixed. So we're gonna probably right now, actually, we're gonna make that our next task of the afternoon. And somebody tried to fix it here. I found the parts, all the stuff that's supposed to be up here. I found all that in the trunk, and I have it. I don't know if this is reparable, but we're at least gonna try and improve it. Truth be told, this door trim right here is not maybe the best of designs, because I think actually on 3 out of the 4 doors, this stuff is in some state of delaminating itself. And I don't know if, did I break that just now? Oh, it was already broken. That, we can glue that. That I'm just gonna glue it. I mean, it's whatevs. And then here's our back seat. Yeah, I mean, you can see it just as well as I do. It turned out good. Our headliner is fine. We are that the little clothes hook that goes up in there. We got that. We're gonna stick that in. Our shelf deck is, or whatever I call it. That's fine. And our sail panels are one of the deficiencies. Like this, see that? It's not ideal, but we're not fixing that. We're not. It's called boundaries, you know. But yeah, I sure would love to fix everything in the world and everything be perfect. I sure would. And then yeah, you see that over there, same thing with the door trim. But yeah, I mean, check this out. That's your premium Buick motor car experience right there. The seats turned out really good. I have to say, by the way, after giving these seats a full rub down. This is, I mean, it ain't vinyl, I'll tell you that much. You know, sometimes the quality of a man's work is judged by his efficiency. That's why I've got a bunch of zip ties and I'm about to use them. Check out all these festoons. Why are there so many festoons in the vehicle? We don't know. It's possible that General Motors knows. It's possible that even General Motors doesn't know. Because there's one thing about GM vehicles. They were made by crazy people. And then beyond that, they're also statistically quite likely to be owned by more crazy people. What are these festoons? Caution, this is the airbag circuit. Okay. There, we're gonna say that's good enough. So we've kind of dolled up the door panel. We kind of dolled up our wiring festoons. All right, now this is the look that we've achieved. Oh, look at that zip tie tail. I need to get that. But other than that, look at this. Look how much cleaner it looks. All right, so here's our progress, if you want to call it that, on the body work. If you want to call it that. Didn't take you guys long because my phone's about to die. Maybe I'll capture the other side. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm unbolting the fenders here and trying to massage them into a better situation to where this gap right here is a little bit more even. It's still pretty bad. Replaced my serpentine belt because there was a free one in the trunk, so why not use it? Well, I guess it's time for me to Google 1994 Buick Roadmaster suddenly not starting. This is what it does. And yes, before you ask, you know, my first reaction was, oh, well, I had the battery out, so that I just didn't tighten the terminals down good enough. They're tight. And then I thought, oh, well, for some reason I must have killed the battery. No, I charged it. I charged it last night, and it's still doing the same thing, so it's not the terminals or the battery charge. All right, so we're down at the starter solenoid. There, it's on top of the starter motor, right? And the 12 volts into the solenoid from the battery. I don't know why it wouldn't be 12 volts, but, you know, we're just doing our due diligence. Hey, we got 12 volts there. Why isn't it going anywhere? You know what I mean? So we got 12.6 incoming into the solenoid. So let's see if it's making it out of the solenoid. All right, so now I'll show you what I mean about this phase 2 here. So we got our two cylinders, you know, our upper cylinder there is the solenoid, and then it's on top of the starter motor, right? Well, that lug right there, that big shiny lug, that was where we checked before that there was 12 volts into the solenoid. And now, if you look right there, our little alligator clip is on the output of the solenoid. It's kind of hard to see. Taking the key to start, the solenoid is not closing. The solenoid is not sending the power to the starter motor, and yet it has power. So one of two things is happening. Either that solenoid is hanging up, or the signal is not getting to the solenoid to close in the first place. I am Barack Obama. All right, now I don't have a tremendous amount of clearance under here because unfortunately there's a low car that's stuck and it's in the driveway, and I don't have the ability to easily jack it up and all that. Anyways, I can't really see what I'm pointing at there, but I think so. This is kind of what I'm talking about here. There's 3 things up in here, and you got to see what has voltage and what doesn't, and that's pretty much, you can figure just about anything in the universe out that way. This is our 12 volts coming in from the battery, all right? So that works, okay? This is our 12 volts coming out from the solenoid. That don't work, all right? So what we got to do now, the third thing, is the signal. And now we got our alligator clip right there. And that's on the there's a little post that alligator clip is on, I promise you. You can't see it because the clip's on it, but it's there. So when we turn the key, the idea is that signal causes this solenoid to close and send the voltage through, right? So either the solenoid's dead or the signal's not getting to it. All right, so here's the real moment of truth. Is that solenoid getting the signal to close at all? What is our voltmeter gonna do? Oh. Yeah, the voltmeter's reading 0. So it's not getting the signal at all, is it? I was kind of hoping it was going to be just a starter. So here's the thing that I'm wondering about now is, I was down here cleaning up my wires like yesterday, and here's what I'm kind of wondering about is you got this loony thing right here, and among the things going in and out of that thing is this. So you got this pale yellow wire, and that gets spliced into here, and then that like goes into the thing, and then it comes back out and gets spliced back into here, which is again the pale yellow wire, which makes me think that this pale yellow wire was all one thing from the factory, and then this crazy ass thing does some stuff or something, I don't know. And then, but here's the thing about that pale yellow wire is that is the color of the signal wire to the starter. So I wonder if that's a signal wire. I wonder if we got a bunch of crappy splices here, or our crazy thing is not doing the thing that it's supposed to be doing. Or this box, who Lord knows. Yeah, so I was doing some more touching. As you can hear, the car is now running. And I touched this. I literally I did like that. And you see that? Yeah. And it started. I feel better now, I do. I feel a lot better. All right, so it starts. Our low coolant level sensor is now cooperating, so we may, oh, well, I unplugged it. What's it gonna do if I plug it back in? Forgot I did that last night. I actually don't think that you can replace the sensor. It's happy now. Okay, so maybe we just leave it. So I actually don't think you can replace the sensor. I kind of think that the sensor is built into this tank and you have to replace the whole thing. All right, well, here's where we've made it with both the fenders unbolted. At least I think they're unbolted. I'm not a body expert, and I was kind of like, well, I've had luck in the past getting panels straighter and getting doors to shut better and stuff, just loosening a couple bolts and moving stuff around kind of by feel. I have not had that kind of luck with this. Either I really am out of my league here as far as competence and skills, or something's just not right with this. And I don't know. I mean, like, I've loosened a lot of bolts on these fenders, but I'm really just not getting what I thought I was going to get out of them. And as always, prior to draining the oil, we will place half of 1 can of a detergent of some type into the oil. Allow that to circulate for a few moments before we drain it out. Can's kind of getting full, I think. There's our compressor. Wow, the AC compressor's like staying on continuously now. That's nice. All right, well, I got her pulled in the garage, and believe me when I say that AC is ice cold, and the compressor at this point is continuous. So we got a good charge on our AC system. We'll see what does it last day, month, year. So, but yeah, for now, it temporarily holds a charge. I know that much. Yeah, I don't know. We may have us a good AC. 2 cans of Freon. That's what I call myself. I always say I'm like 2 can Sam, baby. And between the Freon and all this, we just spent $180 at AutoZone. Seems like a non-insignificant amount, but hey, we're doing it because nobody else is ever going to notice but us. But it's important anyways. So we're going to change the oil. We're going to throw some of this stuff in it because you have to do it if you're a used car. What kind of profession do you even call yourself if you don't? Rust treatment, got a couple cans of that. We got some black spray paint. And now we begin the in-depth refurbishment. Well, with our cans now becoming depleted, it's about time to say that we've used every can that we picked up at the AutoZone, and we're moving to the final phase of cans of the evening. And this is going to be changing the oil. That's, I think, of all my AutoZone stuff that I bought, that's the last task of the night. I may have mentioned this before, but one sort of interesting twist in this car's story is that there is a custom 1/4-inch thick steel skid plate under the engine and trans that we're going to need to remove in order to complete the oil change. So we're going to do that now. What do we think about the oil quality? Can y'all see that? Probably not. I'm probably in the way. Well, I'll get out of the way so that everybody can see. including myself. I think it looks really, really nice. You know, sometimes I clean the pan out before I change the oil. In this case, I did not, because I was like, it's a Buick. So I'm putting this Lucas stuff in. It's the pure synthetic. And you know, here's all my goal was with today, getting it up in the air. Yeah, you know, oil, filter, grease, points, remove that crazy ass plate. And you saw me going through and cleaning off all of the mud and whatever stuff, almost looks like cement, that they drove this thing through. All that stuff, you know, sanded it, wire brushed it a little bit, and we did some black spray paint, we did some rust converter. I did a little bit in the back there, didn't happen to catch that on video. And we got some paint beading. You know, I'm telling you, so far, as aside from just these panel gaps here, I hope that doesn't scare anybody off too bad. Because other than that, this thing is just a puff. A real puff. It is now the next morning for my last transmission. This has been in the garage all night. And the rain droplets are still exactly where I left them. See the line where it was under the garage? Wow. That's some quality paint. All right, so today is officially, I'm declaring picture day on the old Buick. Got her cleaned up, took her out to the park, took some pictures. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put it up on the internet. I don't think I'm gonna do anything else about the panel alignment here. I hemmed and hawed over it for a long time and decided, you know what? Which I'm just gonna disclose that. I'm just gonna say, look, it is what it is. The panels ain't right. Maybe it's something bad, maybe it ain't. I don't really think it is, because it goes straight and it's $4 grand. I'm just gonna throw her up on the internet and see what she does to the right person. I think it is. I think this, for what I'm gonna ask $4,500. I think this is the value is there. It's an 86,000 mile LT1 Roadmaster with really, I mean, good paint, decent tires, cherry car, original car, mechanically good, interior good. I think the value's there. So if I get $4,500 for this, I will clear a profit of $1,000 bucks. And that's honestly, like, that's really good, because this thing, I can't remember doing a whole lot to it. I mean, I feel like this was almost a strictly cosmetic flip. All right, well, this may be the final transmission on the big Buick. I believe she is sold. I had pretty strong interest in it. It was up for sale for under a week. I'm getting full asking, $4,500. Had several guys, sight unseen, 3 different guys actually, right after I listed it, contact me and say, $4 grand right now, cash, no questions asked. So I know the value is there. Now, this was a really easy flip for me. I did like nothing mechanically to this car. I think I'm in it for about $3,500 total after overhead and storage fees and various, various little bills. They do add up. I think I'm in this for about $3,500 total. So I'm bringing in about a grand profit. But yeah, the guy came by last night, drove it around, seemed really stoked about it. He's coming back tonight. Also, I think I kind of didn't take you guys along for the whole alignment journey with this car. I initially took this to get aligned about a week ago, and the shop I took it to basically gave it right back to me and said, nope, can't do it. Reason being, the fender skirts. So modern alignment machines have to have a thing on all 4 wheels, a head they call it. And without that head on all 4 wheels, no, you can't just do the fronts. Without that head on all 4 wheels, the machines just don't work. I drove this thing all over town and made all kinds of phone calls for days to try and find someone with an old school alignment machine that could work on a 94 Buick Roadmaster with unremovable fender skirts. ultimately, I took this thing for a swing up and down Candler Road, and I found a guy in a shack drinking Bud Light, and I paid him $50. I said, can you do something for me? And he did something, and I took it back down the road, and I said, it's closer. I'll give you another $50. And I gave him another $50, and he cracked open another Bud Light, and he did his thing again, and sure enough, she came back to me. She goes down the road straight now. So, yeah, alignment journeys with the Buick Roadmaster. Anyways, that concludes this one. I wish I could keep them all. This, I think, is going to make a really good daily for somebody. Cooler than a Panther, better than a Panther, better car than a Grand Marquis. Not that those are bad. This is just a more substantial beast. I love GM. I love V8s. I love rear-wheel drive. I love sedans.